Unit 6, Moral Decision Making, Consciousness. Do not conform yourself to the standard of this world, but let God transform you inwardly by a complete change of your mind. Then you will be able to know the will of God, what is good and is pleasing to Him and is perfect. Conscience is the inner sense of right and wrong that enables individuals to discern moral choices freely. Listening to our conscience usually leads to a sense of peace of being true to yourself, and you can feel good about your decision. When we do not listen to our conscience, we may experience guilt. The guilt we experience may be warranted or unwarranted. Guilt is a normal feeling that arises from the conscience when a person acts against their values. Warranted guilt occurs when we know an act is wrong and we do it anyway. Unwarranted guilt occurs when there is no real or justifiable reason to feel guilt or regret because the actions are not wrong. We feel unwarranted guilt when our conscience is poorly formed. Reasons why individuals may not understand right from wrong. First, age, and this typically refers to being younger. Second, ignorance. Third, distorted conscience, which we will discuss in more detail. Types of distorted conscience. First, wrongly formed conscience. Individuals who are given information or assumptions about right and wrong that are mistaken. Second, lax conscience. When an individual does not face or think about the morality of the actions that he or she performs. This is an insensitivity to right and wrong. A legalistic conscience. When individuals are so caught up in obeying rules perfectly that they cannot see the real needs of a situation. Our conscience is influenced by our family environment, our own experiences, and the experiences of others around us. Types of guilt associated with a distorted conscience. Unwarranted guilt is typically associated with a wrongly formed conscience. Typically, someone with a lack conscience experiences too little guilt. Individuals become less and less sensitive to right and wrong, and they can experience too little guilt. They may feel immune to guilt because they have become so accustomed to sin. A bad act becomes okay in their mind, and thus they lose the awareness of sin that is the sign of a healthy conscience. Legalistic conscience is associated with excessive guilt. Individuals who are prone to being overly sensitive about the blame that they should assume. The guilt they feel exceeds or is out of proportion to the severity of their wrongdoing. What is the difference between guilt and shame? Guilt signals to us that we are uncomfortable with our own behavior. Guilt can be a healthy and constructive part of our growth as Christians. Shame, however, is always destructive. The message of shame by someone is to be told, you are worthless as a person. Individuals should not feel or be made to feel shamed about themselves.